Good morning, viewers around the world. You're welcome to SSM News Echoes for Global Africa. My name is Godwin Iweajunwa, and I'm sitting in for my brother, Dr. Seun, who is now available now in an assignment somewhere in another part of the world. But you're welcome to News Echoes Global Africa. Today, Wednesday, the 17th of May, 2023. And as usual, we give you updates of occurrences in Nigeria and in Africa. To do this morning are my colleagues and coordinators from other parts of the world. Joining me from not too far from here is my big brother, Ambassador Nat. Ambassador Nat, you're welcome to News Echo this beautiful Wednesday morning.
Thank you very much, Mark, and good morning to the legends, and good morning to all others watching us.
Good morning to all others watching us. Also from faraway Lagos is our Lady BD. Lady BD, you're welcome to News Echo this Wednesday morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Massive Mark. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me once again. Good morning, our viewers all around the world. Let's do it again like always. Good having you here today.
Thank you. Let's do it again like always. Ambassador Nat, just a few hours ago, a report came in. We got the update on our news handle. 4 people have been killed following an attack on the U.S. consulate staff convoy in Anambra. And we also have the U.S. Media person talking about it. I think let's just hear him say what he says, then you give us some insight on it.
China Sea, all that will be discussed.
Thanks. John, I want to ask you about a developing story. We're just now hearing reports about an American convoy in Nigeria coming under attack. What can you tell us about it?
Don't know a whole lot. I just got informed about that here before coming on out to talk to y'all. It does look like a U.S. convoy vehicles was attacked. What I can tell you is that no U.S. citizens were involved, and therefore there were no U.S. citizens hurt. But we are aware of some casualties, perhaps even some killed, but I don't want to get too far ahead of where we are right now. It just happened, and the State Department's looking into this.
Go ahead.
It just happened, and the State Department is looking into it. Ambassador Nat, what do you have about that story? It's a serious one. An attack on U.S. consulate, 4-person killed, and I think it's from the burnt vehicle that the people died. And also there are 3 people that were abducted. Ambassador Nat, yes. Go ahead, Ambassador. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, somewhere around this a number of consulate in Nigeria duty, and they were an act, and there are some fatalities. But I don't like the way the spokesman, the way he's watching that incident. The practice is that in all embassies or diplomatic missions, we always have a local complement of staff of the embassy who are normally the indigenous of that country or that state. But as far as no American was involved, it doesn't really concern them. It doesn't make any big news. That's why the announcement was casual. You know, if an American citizen was involved, before they even make this announcement, the team from the consulate or from US will have already been announced, combing the whole area. So this is what's happening. But it's not a good news for Nigeria. It's not good news for Anambra State because this wanton unwarranted killings, destruction of life and property should stop. We're talking of ushering in a new government where there will be tranquility, there will be peace, and reconciliation. But meanwhile, some bad guys in Anambra State don't think they are ready for that.
Some bad guys in Anambra State doesn't think they are ready for that. Serious issue there. BD, you're there in
Yeah.
Lagos. I know you had the news. It happened yesterday, 3 p.m. Nigerian time, right there in Anambra, Atani, like Ambassador Nat said, Ogboru local government. The vehicle were attacked, bombed. 4 people died. 3 people were abducted, and all this doesn't look good. It doesn't give us a good image, does it, BD?
Yeah, massive mark. It happened in Atani, Obaro local government in Anambra State. They
Mhm.
adopted 4 people, and they killed 4 people and adopted the 2 police officer and the driver, and they burnt their vehicle. And that's happened yesterday. And this was a USA convoy vehicle, and no US citizen was in that vehicle. So it's obvious that the attack is not targeted on USA. It's targeted on the Nigerians in that organization. Now, from what Ambassador Nat is saying, it brings me down to Nigerian situation. What were you people expecting the USA to say? How
Mhm.
has Nigerians reacted to the killing of their own people?
People.
When you don't pay regard, when you don't regard your people, you expect other people to regard them. When you don't value the life of your people. Now, let me tell you, if one USA would have was involved in this, the story would have been different. But they are paying less concern because they see it. If you look at that, his press statement, his emphasis was on no USA was involved. So it makes them less involvement in what happened. So what they will do now is to watch and talk. You remember it was in this country that USA was adopted during at the peak of adoption and killing in this country. They came in
Mhm.
and took their people and left Nigeria. So
That's
it
correct.
is a normal thing. If we as people are interested in saving the life of our people, if we can go miles for the life of our people, then other people will. When we don't value our people, we shouldn't be expecting other people to value our people. So what happened in Anambra is really, really alarming. And now that brings me to Governor Soludo, who said he has fought kidnapping in
Mhm.
Anambra, and this is still
Mhm.
happening at
And
his
this is still,
doorstep. So,
this is still,
is it not still what people were saying when he resumed office and the kind of statement he was making, his body
Mhm.
language, is it not still the same thing? You know, the way when he assumed office, he brought in all his power, all his strength, trying to attack these people. And people were telling him, Mr. President, the way you are going about this is not the best way. But he said he knows what he's doing. And if you look
Mhm.
at the story of kidnapping and killing in Anambra for the past 1 year and few months that he has been in office, you know, it has changed, it has increased, it has become worse.
Ah,
So what are we talking about?
it has increased, it has become worse. Um, okay, we are still monitoring that event, that situation there. It's not pleasant, it's not a good one. 4 people, lives being taken away like that. And the security apparatus are not giving us good information on it, but we were following up. So be on the guard, Ambassador Nat, Lady BD, as we get into the updates on that occurrence in Anambra. Anambra is southeast of Nigeria. Not too far from Anambra is the south of Nigeria. And as at last week, it was not too good news. All through last week till now, we've been hearing of foreign mercenaries behind Plateau attack. The governor said it is foreign mercenaries. About 20 people have been killed in north central of Jos Plateau, that is prompting now a curfew on the community. So there's a curfew on Jos Plateau. The governor just imposed a curfew, and this is because 20 people have been killed like that. Got deeper, we found out that it's more on something called about land grabbing. Some people want to take the land. and the governor is saying that some foreign mercenaries are behind this. Ambassador Nat, what do you have on Jos Plateau? It's ugly there. Jos Plateau, mercenaries killing people. What do you have on that, Ambassador?
No, I'm a bit taken aback, and I'm surprised that the governor is making such a statement. The governor has never been around for good governance on the plateau. And if he's talking about foreign machinery, if you look at the geographical location of Plateau State, Nigeria, it doesn't share any boundary Nigeria. State is in the north central geopolitical zone. Plateau State share boundaries with uh, states like Yobe State, states like Borno State, states like Benue State, and maybe Taraba. But we know that these killings in the past are going. It has been ongoing, and it's more of a revenge missions from both sides. It's either the Hausa Fulani or the Atap people, the indigenous people of Plateau State. And the history of that crisis has always been that when he talk of foreigners, non-indigenous of Plateau State, who came in to participate in the mining activities of those days. And they settled there, places like Barkin Ladi, places like Jos, not local government. And that crisis has been on and on and on. And so I can't see any foreigner coming in. I think the governor has failed in his responsibilities as the governor of Plateau State, and he's talking of foreign machineries coming in. We know foreign machineries came in during the early days of Boko Haram, but they came to fight on behalf of Nigeria, especially Chad troops, but definitely not to come into the hinterland and start fighting. We need to verify exactly what the governor is trying to say.
We need to refine what he's trying to say. And it's terrible. BD, this governor, the governor of Plateau, Caleb, it's terrible that he's there, this is happening, and he's guessing. He's a guesswork he's doing. He's not even sure of what has happened. Saying that foreign machinery. Now, who is behind this foreign machinery? Who are these foreign machinery? You don't just give vague press release to such an event. Is that not so, BD? What do you say?
Exactly. See, there's nothing like foreign machinery there. And Ambassador Nana said we need to verify. What are we verifying? This has been on for years. The governor knows what is going on in Plateau State. It's in Nigeria that they will tell you you have to be diplomatic in talking. And if I understand very well, I'm a media personality. When you said be diplomatic, what they are telling you is lie. And that is actually what it is. The governor knows what is happening in Plateau State. How can you tell me you're a sitting governor and telling me it's the foreign that has been doing? Well, I don't blame him. If the people from presidency can look Nigerians in the face and tell us that the people who has been abducting and killing people in Nigeria are not Nigerian, they came from the neighboring country, what do you expect a governor to say? Do you understand? Now, governor is trying to be in the good book of the presidency, in the good book of the party. So he has nothing to say than to say that he doesn't even want to stand his ground as a governor. That's the problem. He is the governor of a state. He is the chief security personnel of that state. If the governor cannot stand and be bold and call a spade and say what is happening in Plateau State, is it you, Ambassador Nat or Matt, that will come and say it? That's the problem. You see, what is happening and let me just tell you, it's not just what the governor is saying or what the governor is not saying. Do you know that when this incident happened in Plateau State, no media house carried that story.
That's correct.
No media has carried that story. I had that story in my blog. And because of the way things are going, they have to call and tell you who asked you to carry this story, who comes. You know what I do most times? When I carry such stories, I don't broadcast it, but it's always on my blog. No media has carried until Nigerians went on Twitter and start talking about it. That how can about 30 people be killed in a state, in Plateau State, and all the Nigerian media houses are turning blind eye and deaf ear as if nothing happened. Now, exactly what I was telling you about what happened in Anambra State. We are not trying to get personal with the Americans, their statements. When we don't even care about our own people. Do you know who we are talking about in Plateau here? They are human lives, human beings like us.
That's correct.
They killed over, we always is in the state of being diplomatic that will give you a friendly number. And I will tell you that the people that died in Plateau was over 30. But what you will see in the news was 27. That's okay. It's not fair. And my problem now is this. Now, the governor has said what he said. Where are our civil societies? Where are our freedom fighters in Plateau State? Are they not there? Can they speak? This has been happening. It's not the first time. It's not the second time. And certainly it's not going to be the last time. It's really disheartening what is going on in this country. And we are just about to start a new administration. And this is happening. So what is the fate of an ordinary Plateau person?
What is the fate of an ordinary Plateau person? That governor was just newly elected, but he doesn't seem to be man enough to face situations in Plateau. Plateau has always had these problems anyway. You have this terrorist attack, this assault, all these happening. Go ahead. Yes.
Max, the governor was not newly elected. He's spending his second term now. By the next 2 weeks, he will have spent 8 years as governor of Plateau State. So, and for these things to happen, the problem now is that PDP won the elections in 2023 in Plateau State. So APC is not going to be anywhere near the government house in Jos. And this present governor, I know he was the Director General of APC Presidential Campaign Council. He also attempted to get into the Senate in 2023. He lost that election. Yes. So the man is just making himself relevant now. He wants to make himself relevant to the government that is 2 weeks, 2 weeks exit, and the incoming governor. He's fighting for a position. Maybe he thinks he might be made the secretary to the government of the federation, and so anything he does now is for self-survival and for relevance, no more, no less. Period.
Yes. No, I was referring to the newly elected one, the newly elected governor. Yes, he is the one putting it that this issue should be looked into very well. He came out strong and he said, who are these instigating this? What is their aim of killing people? Who is sponsoring them and all that? So he's a newly
Massive Mike.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a newly elected governor that to be taking place in the Plateau State. But he's not a newly citizen in Nigeria. Even me that is not from Plateau State, I don't live in Plateau State. I can't just come and start telling you this because I know that this has been the story in Plateau State. I know that the killing has been, even before the emergence of Boko Haram or herdsmen that we have that is rampant today in our society. The killings in Plateau has been there. So for somebody who has been elected as the governor start to be saying or speaking like this, it means that he's not being truthful to himself. Every time they keep telling us we'll look into this, they'll keep telling us we'll look into it, and another one will happen, and it keeps happening, and they'll keep telling us they will look into it. And it is human lives we are talking about. We're not just talking about animals, it's their human lives.
Human lives we're talking about. Thank you very much. It's a sad one. Human life has no much value in our country. This is the truth, because people are killed and nothing is done about it. Anambra just killed 4 people now. 3 people has been abducted, and maybe more casualty. And everything will just lie low. Everybody will go about doing things as if nothing has happened. And these are human beings like me and you. So we are calling on all the security arms of Nigeria to sit up. When there are situations like this, things should be followed up. And we should stop, like BD said, we should stop this idea of trying to be diplomatic in everything. And that diplomacy, most times, as she has said, is lies, covering up real issues only for the benefit of some people, for the interest of some people. Thank you very much, gentlemen, Ambassador Nat. Ambassador Nat, also something interesting happening, the alleged cocaine deal of the one-time police officer, Abba Kyari. His case has started, but now journalists and press people are being told that they will not be witnessing to that case. Abba Kyari, like we all know, is standing trial alongside 4 other officers on 8 counts of drug charges on drug trafficking. And now they are telling the press, you will not be in that courtroom. You will not know what's happening. Ambassador Nat, what do you have on Abba Kyari's case?
Well, the top cop, he was I think assistant commissioner of police or deputy commissioner of police, and he was in charge of this crack team of the Nigerian police tracking down criminals, and he was held until this issue of his name being mentioned in drug dealing. But before then, there was this report from the FBI in America that Abba Kyari has been involved in money laundering and so many other crimes. And the FBI was asking for his extradition to America for him to face the charges and be tried there. You see, but there was a twist. Abba Kyari was almost being bundled out of Nigeria, but all of a sudden, the issue of the drug thing came in, and some Nigerians saw it as a conspiracy. They don't want to send Abba Kyari to America, and so let us prompt up some charges against him here. Let us try him here. Let us find him guilty here, so that you don't send him to America. And so the issue of his trial being done in secret now, and the DSS is talking of security involved. But what Abba Kyari has done, even the allegations against him, there are enough security against of Nigeria as a country, and so the issue of because of one person, maybe because of the connections he has, he's been shielded from the public, from people knowing exactly what he's been accused of, what are the allegations, what is his defense. So it shows what Nigeria is. Nigeria is a laughing stock as far as I'm concerned. The FBI, it takes them, if they don't mind, even if it takes them months or years, they will investigate and get the details and the truth. They don't just come out and do a media trial like the FCC or these other people. So this is the Abba Kyari saga, and we're waiting. The whole world is waiting to see. America is waiting to see
we are waiting. Thank you very much, Ambassador. BD, there's a keyword we normally use here on News Echo, and that is impunity. That's one word we always use. A lot of officers, a lot of people, many of our leadership, those in power, have that mindset that they are above the law. So this suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, I think he thinks he's above the law. The presiding judge has granted the application, And the presiding judge also granted the application to protect him from the identity of some key witnesses in this suit. So they are also not opening up to press people. You being a press lady, how do you feel that you're not going to get real-time update on this whole thing? BD.
Now, my question is this: why even sitting? Because already they have already done the case and they already know the outcome. Because restraining journalists from coming to witness the hearing, it means that they already know what the outcome will be. So I don't see the necessary need for the case again. Yeah, you're saying impunity, and that Bakari now is the mindset he has. It's not the mindset he has, it's the who he know he is. He is above the law. The obvious truth about Nigerian law or Nigerian society is that the law is meant for some people, and the law is meant to protect some people. And one of those people the law is meant to protect is people like Abba. If you look at the story Ambassador Nat gave us, do you understand? This case has been investigated and the truth is before us. But Nigerians, being who are, they want to twist it in their own way so that tomorrow they will say, oh, he was charged to court, there was hearing, and we couldn't find anything against him. Do you understand? So not telling journalists that you people will not come because you're trying to shield some people. So my question is this: what's the point for this case? Because you already shielded some people, you don't want them to be known, they don't want us to know what they're talking about. Then after the hearing, the news agency of Nigeria, sorry, I have to say this, will now write the story and distribute to us to broadcast. That's it. So I don't see, there's no need for this. They should have just let him go, because the Nigerian government already has taken a stand on this case. So wasting our money and wasting people's time, it doesn't call for it, because they already
there's no need for this. Before we go on a break, Ambassador Nat, but what do you think what do you emphasize with this case? What do you think will happen? Will Kyari be let loose, or will he pay for? Because the crime against him is not one, it's not two, like you said. There's the drug trafficking crime. There's the one of his involvement with the young man, one of those. Hush Puppy. There are a series of allegations against him. Ambassador Nat, what's your own, from your view, what would you think will happen eventually?
See, my view is that his what even more brought him to limelight was this his relationship with what do you call him now?
Hush Puppy.
BBD. Hush Puppy.
Hush Puppy, yeah.
Hush Puppy. And I am saying that the FBI, they don't do media trial before they come out to say anything in the public. They don't mind, even if it take them years, they do a thorough investigation. They get their facts, they get their figures correct before they make any allegation. And after they had concluded their investigation on Abba Kyari and Hush Puppy, and it cut across continents and countries, and they came out with this announcement. Then all of a sudden, the drug issue came up. And Abba Kyari is saying that they set him up for the drug thing. They set him up. He doesn't know anything about those couriers of drug thing. But it is sad, it's unfortunate, it's shameful, and it's disgraceful that a country like Nigeria cannot be objective in handling issues that border even on national security. Is sad. And my projection is that, this same Abba Kyari has some connection with the vice president-elect, Kashim. Is it Kashim Shettima or what?
Shettima, yes.
Yes, he already has some link with him. So what do we expect when he's now, if he's sworn in as the vice president, the thing is closed. Everybody should go home.
Exactly, that's it now.
That
And
that
you know,
that that,
Massive
yeah,
Mike,
yeah. Go ahead.
these people, they keep destroying the image of our parastatals, our commissions. Now,
Mm.
in a case like that of Abba, NDLEA now applying to protect someone who is coming to give evidence.
Evidence.
NDLEA. Do you know
Yes.
what that means? Do you
That's
know
really.
how Nigerians see this commission in Nigeria?
Mhm.
By doing this, they are now, denting the image of that organization.
Very correct. That was why Ambassador Nat said it's a shame that Nigerians and Nigerian government is not objective on issues concerning security.
I'm
On this
telling
note,
you.
let's go on a short break. Ambassador Nat BD, we'll be back to discuss more. There are some good news too. As much as there are ugly news, there are good news coming out from Nigeria. So we'll be back. This is News Echo Global Africa today, Wednesday, the 17th of May 2023. We are here giving you updates all over the world. Join us as we come back on our part two. Thank you.
Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call, obey to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe and sala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in south-south Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine.
Yes, you're welcome back to News Echoes Global Africa. Today, Wednesday, 17th of May 2023. And we are giving you global news as concerns Nigerians all around the world and Africans. Right here in the studio are my colleagues, Ambassador Nat from London, UK, and Lady PD from Lagos, Nigeria. Ambassador Nat, something is also brewing somewhere. On the other side, we had you had the guests, you had the president as guest in London. Do you want to give us an update? Is he back or is he still in London? We know our president Buhari has spent half of his tenure as president enjoying himself in London. He just comes at will, comes at will. Ambassador Nat, where is the president now? Is he still there with you?
Well, no, we've sent him back to where he belongs. From what is available in the public domain,
Yes.
and he came back to Abuja yesterday.
Okay.
He left the UK around 12 noon, and he was in Abuja some few minutes to 5 o'clock p.m. I feel very bad. I feel ashamed to be talking about the president was told by a doctor to stay for another 1 week in London for dental checkup. I mean, is that not disgraceful and shameful for Shina whosoever to make such announcement to the whole world? That the president Buhari went to coronation ceremony of Prince Charles II, and then the next thing is he has 1 week extension appointment. His dentist has told him to stay behind for 1 week to check his dental formula. I mean, how can you be saying this type of things? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
It's painful, it's shameful, and disgraceful that you are talking of president staying behind for 1 week to check his dental. I mean, there are no dentists in Nigeria again. If it's just checking, it's not. They are not removing his tooth or his teeth, but just checking. Oh no.
Just checking.
Yes.
The president was in UK for the coronation ceremony, and Ambassador Nat is giving us the update now. His spokesman, Femi Adesina, came a few days after that ceremony and announced that there's an extension of his stay in the UK by a week on the advice of his dentist. Now, what our Nigeria has spent so much on the health issue of the president, instead of we having a president that is seated on his decks doing what he's supposed to do. We are having more of flights going back and forth. And when this movement happens, people go with him, his team, his spokespeople, everybody comes with it. And each of this person gets what you call extra code. Is that not so, Ambassador Nat? Everybody gets an allowance. The presidency also gets an allowance for traveling and all this. And this is a waste of governance. I mean, waste of our money. I mean, what is this, BD? Why do we go through all these situations and we're about to repeat it again? BD.
Massive Mike, Ambassador Nats, why are you people drinking Panadol on our head? Are we complaining to you people that we don't like our president traveling for treatment? If we don't like it, we wouldn't have voted another person or selected another person that will be replacing him, and he's still on that route. So it's really appalling to us as a nation for Femi Adesina, who said he's a media special assistant to Buhari, to come to tell the world that president, after King Charles III in coronation, that president has to stay for extra 1 week for dental checkup. Dental, we're not talking about transplants, kidney transplants, heart transplants. We are not talking about Do you understand? Just dental. Is one of the, I'm not saying it's not difficult, but it's one of the simplest things that even houseman students in them can do. Dental. So you mean that for the past 8 years, our president was not able to set up a good dental center, knowing that he has a dental problem. It's really a shameful thing to us as Nigerians. Do you understand? My problem is that they shouldn't have come out to say this. They shouldn't have come out to say this. And now they are after the doctors for demanding to make things right. And he, a president of the largest black nation in the world, staying in London for just dental checkup. It's a disgrace to every Nigeria everywhere. And we shouldn't even be saying this kind of a thing. And Femi Adesina, I don't know what he was thinking when he even came out to say this. But the truth is this, Buhari actually stayed back for his medical checkup. But they just have to say something. And most times that when they are trying to cover up some certain things, they make a lot of bigger blunder. That is the issue. He came up with that dental checkup to cover up some certain things, but he didn't know he was going to commit the bigger blunder. It's really a disgrace to Nigeria.
He didn't know he was going to commit a bigger blunder. Thank you very much, BD. While you were saying that, we have with us Dr. Godwin Ibe from Russia. Dr. Godwin Ibe, you're welcome to News Echo this beautiful Wednesday morning. Can you hear me? Okay, before he joins us. Yes, dental. You brought up something, BD, and that is that while he was there for dental checkup, now the resident doctors are talking of going on strike. Resident doctors are talking of going on strike, and it's a pity, like you said, the government has not done much to help these resident doctors. And I think when you're not well, your job is not coming up well, the pay is not well, there is not anything to help your economic situation. I think you have the right to protest. You have the right to shout out and say, please look at me. Ambassador Nat, is Dr. Godwin listening? Can you hear us now? Are you here now, Dr. Godwin?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Sure. I hear you.
You're welcome to the program, and we're about to talk about the resident doctors in Nigeria going on strike. Yes. So, but let me hear from Ambassador Nat. Ambassador Nat, what do you think? Resident doctors are going on strike, and the Minister of Labor and Employment, Chris Ngige, is warning them that they shouldn't. He's saying that any strike will cause a lot of damage to the economy, to the health sector. But these people are in pain. They are not well taken care of. Ambassador Nat, what are you saying about this?
It is, since we have a medical doctor on this program, let me concede that to Dr. Godwin Ibe. Maybe he might throw more light on his colleagues in Nigeria wanting to go on strike. It's not a new thing. Yeah. Dr. Ibe.
Okay. Dr. Ibe.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ambassador. I humbly appreciate the opportunity. Yes, everyone has the right to protest. Everyone really wants to protest. It's not only doctors, because the situation is not good with a lot of employees. It's just that doctors are highly skilled, work as high skilled workers, and so maybe can afford that opportunity to protest, and they have a labor union to back them up. So not everyone can afford to do that, protest against the government, because some people will just be left to fade off with impunity. But they can afford to do that, and that's maybe something positive. But should they do that, will it affect the economy? Of course, it will affect the economy. For it to reach this stage, it's obvious that it has wide wide publicity, wide support among the health workers. So they aren't treated right. I believe the government should stop threats. Usually, when there's a threat of strike, the government should try to meet, midway and try to solve the problem rather than telling them their strike will affect the economy. Well, their poverty will affect the economy as well. The failure of bad policies also affect the economy. Why don't you fix bad policy before you worry about whether doctors are striking or not? After all, if you had good policy, would they be striking? If you felt that you treated them, would they not have your back? Would you be thinking of striking? So instead of focusing on the doctor, you focus on your policies, Mr. Honorable Chris Ngige, and don't spend too much time on people who are working hard. They do not have as many opportunities as you have sitting in a political position. But they who are working their asses out, they are more sensitive to policy.
Thank you very much. Ibidi, do you have anything to say on that? Because I think any moment from now, that strike might happen, even though they are trying to stop them.
Yeah.
Yes.
My own is Minister Chris Ngige. I'm even surprised at him most times with his utterances, having been a member of Labour for years. But what do you expect what do you expect when can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
When
Yes, we
you
can.
get yourself with Nigerian politics, they have a way of taking away your reasoning, or even dictating how you reason. Now that's the part. Now coming to the doctors, I don't understand. I have issue with the doctors. My issue with them is this: you want to go on strike. If you remember their strike, they started this since after election. They will. They keep. Do you understand? You see, the problem we have in Nigeria is that we don't even have right to protest. And why is it that we don't have right to protest? It's because we don't have as unison. We remember what happened to teachers union in Nigeria here, teachers, for how many years, how many months they stay, getting to a year. Now, when that was happening, every other sector, we are just folding hands, watching them. If Nigerians have not learned to come together as one, do you understand? To start getting a good policy that is human friendly, we will not get to somewhere. Now, the doctors, when I said I have issue with them, you said you're going to strike. When this administration have just 12 days to go, I don't know who you are striking for. Are you striking for Buhari, or you are striking for Tinubu, or for Yakub, INEC chairman? I don't understand who you are striking for. Just 12 days, and you say you're going for 2 weeks. So by the time you would have been 2 weeks, Buhari would have gone. And understanding who Buhari is, he does not even care about you. Do you understand? So I don't understand. If they truly want to go for this strike, they would have gone for this strike since March. That was when they started saying it. March is gone, April is gone. Buhari have just 12 days to go to leave office, and you say you're going on a strike. For who? Is it to wicked Nigerians, or to watch a lot of Nigerians die? No, I think yes, I'm not happy with the situation of doctors in Nigeria, but they should actually look towards this and see another direction they can go about this. Because the thing is this: the Nigerian government, or the policies, like Dr. Ibe said, it's not working. They do policies that is not work. So this SS strike is not helping us. I think the doctors should look inward and find another way they can go on this, because this strike
Excess
is no
strike
longer...
is not working because nobody's listening to them, and they have a way of shutting them down. Anyway, we hope they come to a conclusion. They come to an agreement. We hope it's resolved, because it is the ordinary citizen, ordinary Nigerian that might suffer when this happens. Moving forward, gentlemen, we have the story of the popular Afrobeat originator, Fela Nicola Kuti. His son, there's a video that went viral of Seun Kuti, one of the sons of Fela, where he was captured in a viral video slapping a police officer. Now, Seun Kuti is expected to meet up his bail condition, and what we heard from his lawyer One Adeyinka is that he has been taken to a 21-day remand home, a remand place by the order of the court. And they are hoping that he will meet up with all the other bail conditions. We don't know what the bail conditions are, but on Monday also, there was an order from the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, on this whole thing. You all know Seun Kuti. I know him also personally, a young man. What will you guys say? Ambassador Nat, his father was actually the opposite of this. His father was rather being beaten by the police. The police brutalized the father so much. Had so much encounter with the father and they really messed him up. But now the young man is the opposite. He even said in a video that he beats them every time he come across the police. So what will you say about the assault, police assault by Seun Kuti? Let me begin with Ambassador Nat. Ambassador Nat, are you with the story?
Yes, I mean the story, but again, nobody in Nigeria is above the laws of the country. It's a constitutional matter. There's somewhere within the Nigerian Constitution, 1999 as amended, you don't assault um, uh, you don't assault security members of the armed forces, to include police and other security outfits. You don't assault them and boast about it. The Seun Kuti has crossed the red line. He has gone beyond what is allowed in a civil, disciplined, and a well-organized society. Though he sent the police threatening to kill him and his family, you don't take the laws into your hands. And so the whole world is watching to see how the Nigerian police force will handle this thing, how the judiciary will handle this thing. The police is saying that the policeman that Seun Kuti slapped is now in coma. I don't know what type of slap that was for somebody to not be in coma. And maybe even if you're in coma, you are not even sure you are coming out of the coma. So that's the situation we are in Nigeria, that individuals called Seun Kuti is going to that extent of taking the laws into his hands. Not just any other person, but a police officer in uniform. So let's see how it plays out. This is drama. Uh, he has said Femi Falana will defend him. He has said he had enough evidence to show that he didn't do what they are saying he did. We're all looking. We hope we'll still be alive.
We hope we still be alive. We're all looking.
And
Dr. Godwin, I hope you're there.
so
Yes.
Yeah.
We know also that we've seen so many clips of police doing this to civilians. The police in Nigeria, and in fact, that was one of the reasons of the NSAS, like you all remember. And now it is turning around. Seun can't take this. Seun is doing, even though taking the law into his hands. But what will you say? Has the police also been fair relating with you people, civilians? Have they been doing what they should do? We have several clips of police beating people, hitting them, smacking their phones out of their hand, pushing them out of a car, all that. So, Dr. Godwin, what is your take on this Seun and the situation in that aspect?
Thank you. The problem I have with this kind of stories tend to focus on the exception rather than the rule. Now, rule for Nigerians to beat policemen, of course, it's not a rule. It's very rare. It's extremely rare. The rule civilians. Some will argue rather than the exception. Do not have scientific to it's more than 50% of the case that, I mean, the extent or the extent of police in terms of the percentage of cases. I don't have that statistical figure. Many people will argue from experience what to say it's more of the rule police brutality against, as we had the EndSARS protest, rather than the exception. So critical, the policemen are very important. We need them, and we hope that they'll continue to do their job, because without them there can be no security for business. Security is important for us. So we love to continue doing their job. We know that there are some bad eggs that spoil the police, and we hope that those good ones in the police force will not allow those bad ones image important and noble their profession is.
Thank you very much. Please, because of time, BD, I want us to hop into the good news of one of us, Hilda Baci. The Guinness World Record just released the fresh statement that Hilda Baci, Akwa Ibom native, has surpassed the record of the longest cooking time by an individual on Earth. That record was held by an Indian chef, Lata Tondon. And now our girl has it. So Hilda Baci has the history on the menu. The Nigerian cook took her way to history. Didi, what do you want to say about this? Because after getting the official, there has to be an official statement towards it. So now the official statement has, yes. What's your?
Hilda Baci made us proud. He has placed Nigeria where we need to be. The girl, she broke the record. And the Indian lady who had this award had it on 87 hours. She cooked for 87 hours, 45 minutes. But Hilda did not just meet up, but she surpassed it to cooking for 100 hours. And it was a wonderful experience. She actually started that cooking on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was the Saturday night that the crowd starts trooping in, because when she was getting exhausted, Nigerians came in from every nook and cranny, supporting her, cheering her. Now, when she cooked, trust Nigerian, when she completed her 100 hours of cooking, it was taking Guinness World Record time to confirm her and to congratulate her. Trust Nigerians, they now stormed their page. They stormed the page of Guinness World Record, and they were asking them what is happening. The funny thing is that they asked them, please, is Yakubu Mahmoud, INEC chairman, is he part of your team? So they even have to respond that, no, he's not part of their team, that they have reviewed the video, you understand, everything. And at last, she was congratulated and they giving her the honor. She's now the Guinness World Record for the individual cooking for 100 hours. It's not easy. It's a very big one to her.
Thank you very much. Because of time, thank you very much, gentlemen. Ambassador Nati, do you have anything to say on the Hilda thing, on Elite One? 10 seconds statement. Ambassador Nat?
Well, a lot of things to say, but there is no time today.
Yes, there's no time.
Maybe some other time. Thank you.
I know you want to say congratulations to her.
Yeah.
Congratulations, of course. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you very much. So on this note,
we love her.
Hilda Baci, thank you for putting our name on the Guinness record. Yes, gentlemen, till we come again on Friday for our foreign affairs news update. Thank you all for coming, and have a beautiful midweek, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.